God thanks for every minute, every hour. Beloved, there are just a couple things I just share with you. Share with you. Please, ma'am, please, sir, take a note of them and govern yourselves accordingly. On last week, I went next door to Mileage to have my car tested for emissions. And the owner showed me the damage that has occurred to their bay doors. And the damage was pretty substantial. And the owner is very gracious. He's very gracious to us. He does not hold it against us. The only thing that he asks is for our cooperation. Once it is fixed, he is asked that we refrain from parking in front of his bay doors. He has advised me that we are more than welcome to park in his parking lot. However, we are asked to please refrain from parking in front of his bay doors, not only because of the potential and risk for damage, but also they do business in there at times when we are in worship, and they respect our worship enough not to interrupt us, however it interferes in their business. Now, we are to be good neighbors. Amen? And we've had other neighbors who have come to us in a very confrontational spirit. He comes to us, he came to us in a spirit of love and friendship. And I want us to respond in kind. I want us to respond in love, friendship, in respect, and in cooperation. I am asking every disciple of this church to refrain for any reason, at any time, for parking in front of the man's bay doors. That's his business. And even though we may think that he's not open, he has every right to ask and request this of us. Amen? Amen. So I'm asking you, please, brothers and sisters, please, so that this does not escalate into something ugly, if we would cooperate. And so I'm asking, please, let's not do that. Let's not create any unnecessary problems. Amen? Amen. And if you do that, the Lord will bless you for your cooperation. Remember, I have asked you to allow this quarter to be a quarter that we focus on our stewardship. We have one more month of December, to focus on our giving. And I'm asking, as I asked you at the beginning of the quarter, I asked you to do something. I asked you to take some time and get with the Lord. Ask the Lord, is he pleased, is he satisfied with your stewardship, our stewardship? Asking that we take very seriously our responsibility to support the ministry of this church financially. And if we do that, you'll see that ministry would be a lot easier, a lot less stressful if everybody were to do his and her share. So I'm asking you, brothers and sisters, again, to prayerfully consider stewardship, practicing good stewardship. And I share with you my own personal testimony as when I was taught proper stewardship. when it occurred in my life. It occurred at a time when finances were tight. And that was when I was challenged to practice good stewardship. And that I did. I began to practice good stewardship. And it was then, during the time when money was tight, and resources seemed to not be adequate. But I did what God asked me to do anyhow. And when I did it, God responded faithfully. God opened up the windows of heaven, poured out so much of a blessing until I had not only enough for myself and for our family, but to be a blessing to others as well. That's how God wants to bless us. He wants our cup, not merely to make it a little bit, but He wants our cup to run it over. Amen? Amen. And we do that by being faithful to what God has asked us to do. So I'm asking you, beloved, to please, man, please serve this last month. Let God show you what He can do. That's one of the few scriptures where God invites the people of God to test Him. Test me, it says, and see when I open up the windows of heaven and pour you out so much of a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. God has issued us a challenge. I don't know anybody who, when God challenges them, they're able to triumph over God. Amen? The truth of the matter is, you can't be God and give it, no matter how hard you try. Amen. So I'm asking us to do that. I'm asking us to prayerfully consider that. Then on next Sunday, this Sunday is the last Sunday in the Christian calendar. This is a Sunday that we call Christ the King Sunday. And next Sunday is the first Sunday in the Christian calendar. We call it the first Sunday in Advent. First Sunday in the season of Advent. And for our first Sunday in Advent service on next Sunday, our sisters and brothers from the Stratford United Methodist Church will be here. The choir will be here. The pastor will be here. And the pastor will be preaching on next Sunday. And so next Sunday, all disciples of the church are encouraged to come at our regular hour and enjoy our joint Advent service with our sisters and brothers from Stratford United Methodist Church. Looking forward to having a great and a grand time in the Lord. It's the first Sunday, so communion. We will observe communion, and after the service, lunch will be served. Amen? Amen. And so we're asking, inviting all disciples to come and be a part of what the Lord is doing with the two churches. But the last thing that I want to share with you is ask you to pray for our sick, for our shut-in, for those persons who are in bereavement and in distress. I ask you to do that because there's power in prayer. How many know prayer changes things? There are those of us who even believe that the only reason why we're here is because somebody, mama, daddy, grandma, grandpa, sister, brother, husband, or wife, child, deacon, or pastor, took the time to pray for us. Amen? And so I'm asking you to take the time in your busy schedules to pray for the disciples of this household of faith who are going through tough times. And watch how God responds to our prayer. God is a prayer answering God. I can't press this upon the people of God enough that God is moved by our prayers. And that's why I come before you regularly, advocating that you pray for our sick, for our shut-in, for those persons who are in bereavement and in distress. And then it's always good to know that when we're up against it, amen, isn't it good to know that God has someone, somewhere, who takes the time to pray for us? If you believe in the power of prayer, give God a great big hand. God bless you. May heaven smile. Now I ask that you turn to our lesson for today from the last chapter of the book of Revelation. The next to last chapter, chapter 21 of Revelation. And I want to lift into your hearing verses 6, verse 6 and verse 7 of Revelation 21. He said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To him who is thirsty, I will give to drink without cost from the spring of the water of life. He who overcomes will inherit all this, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. He who overcomes will inherit all this, and I will be his God, and he will be my son." I'll talk to you for a few moments on the subject, prospering when times are tough. He who overcomes will inherit all this, and I will be his God. He will be my son. Prosper when times are tough. If we are honest with ourselves, most of us have to face the fact that we are afraid of the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation is the least read, most misunderstood book in the entire Bible. We pass from the Gospels and the epistles to its pages. We are confronted with a bizarre scenario that seems to unfold in an alien land. Weird, esoteric symbolism bound on every page. Some choose to ignore this last book of the Bible, while others make it the key to their understanding of the whole of Scripture. The book of Revelation has been the happy hunting ground for many religious crackpots, from the Millerites, who were convinced that the world would end in 1844, to the branch Davidians, whose leader David Koresh believed that he had been chosen to open the 7 seals of the apocalypse and launch what he believed would be God's final judgment on the world. The book of Revelation is a book of unspeakable violence, and it is unspeakable violence in the name of God. This aspect of the book chills the blood of those who want religion to offer a haven of safety and peace to humankind. However, lest we despair, corrected language that so easily confuses so many offers a clue to the unique genius of the book. Here we have nothing less than an attempt to peer into another world, to make visible that which is invisible, and to utter that which is unutterable. This book forces us out of our routine ways of thinking and asks us to discover reality through the imagination rather than through our intellect. Make no mistake about it. The book of Revelation, or the book of the revelation of Jesus Christ to John, is a book that is intended to startle us. It is a book that is even intended to shock us. It is revolutionary literature, a dangerous message for an evil day, and those who challenge the powers that be in the name of Christ, courting persecution and even death. The book is high drama, designed to awaken in us buried emotion, enlarge the boundaries of our experiences, and to jar its readers out of our complacency with God's wake-up call. In a nutshell, however, in spite of its challenges in terms of us fully understanding and fully appreciating this writing, the book of Revelation, when all is said and when all is done, is basically a book of hope. The book of Revelation is a book that helps us to discover how to prosper when times are tough. And let me remind someone, in case you have been asleep these last years, the times that we live in are tough times. Matter of fact, the times that we live in are probably some of the toughest times in human history. The book of Revelation is about hope that's offered to humanity during this darkest hour, at a time when many people think, or many people thought, that all hope was lost. Specifically, this lesson is about providing us with the principles that are designed to help us to prosper and experience newness in our lives, especially during the challenging times that we live in. The question that we must ask ourselves is, how can we find hope in the midst of such harm? How can we find hope in the midst of such doubt and uncertainty? How can we find hope even in the world that we live in today? The question we must ask ourselves is, what revelations can we discover from our lesson? What strategies are available for us to utilize that will assist us so that we prosper, so that we experience newness, wholeness, and restoration in our lives, even at a time like this? These are the pressing questions that the church must deal with during this last Sunday in the Christian year. How can we keep hope alive when it seems like it is hopeless? How can we hold on when many are contemplating letting go? How can we believe that even though these are some of the darkest times in human history, How can we hold on to the fact that since God is still alive and well, we are to keep hope alive? These are the questions that we must consider on this last Sunday in the Christian year. Must ask ourselves, how can we as the people of God prosper even when times are tough? And as we look at our lesson, one of the first things that we can discover from our lesson is the fact that if we want to experience prosperity when times are tough, we must have a vision of our future. In verses 1 and 2 of our lesson, the Lord begins to reveal to the Apostle John his plan for the renewal of the world and for humankind by providing John with a vision. Verses 1 and 2 of our lesson declare, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband." The point that our lesson is making is the fact that if we want to experience renewal in our lives, if we want to be prosperous, if we want to make it during the times in which we live in, we must have a vision and we must be able to dream. Tragically, far too many of us fail to make headway in our lives because we have no vision. And the truth of the matter is, where there is no vision, the people perish. When life robs us of our ability to dream and we lose our direction, when life robs us of our ability to dream and robs us of our vision or the vision of our future, we get sidetracked. And eventually we will stumble and we will fall. Every now and again, in order to emphasize to us the fact that God has made us for far more than simply our current set of circumstances, or for far more than simply living from day to day, God has to show us things that we are ignorant of or even oblivious to. The fact of the matter is, life has a way of overwhelming us. In our lesson, John lived in a day the Roman Empire, then at the height of its power, was determined to control the course of human history. Its imperial design knew no limits. The ages of time would be determined by the rule of its Caesars. Rome had already crushed every other earthly power within the wider Mediterranean world. Therefore, no one dared to challenge its supremacy. Intoxicated with its own self-importance, the empire moved steadily to make itself the unifying power around which all political, economic, cultural, and religious systems would coalesce. Over and against this absolutionary of Roman authority, God raises up a disciple by the name of John, and he dared John to make the most revolutionary claim imaginable. Even in the midst of Roman supremacy, God raised up a man who had a vision. And let me remind you, beloved, that I don't care who sits where, and I don't care how high he sits. The truth of the matter is, if you can have a vision of your future, your vision will outlast that person's supremacy. God gave John the divine ability to dream of a day when he would see a new heaven and a new earth. In spite of the mighty Roman Empire, John had a vision. In spite of being exiled to the Isle of Patmos, John had a vision. And John could dream. In spite of his circumstances, God gave John a vision. Even when John was alone, isolated, stranded, and marooned, he kept right on dreaming. I will submit to you the fact that the reason why we are here, the reason why we can do what we can do, and the reason why we have the opportunities that we have is because the God of biblical faith has and continues to specialize in raising up people who are not afraid to dream great dreams, not afraid to have a vision of our future in spite of our circumstances. For those of us who are of African descent, our foreparents dreamed dreams while they were in chains and in shackles. Our forefathers dreamed dreams while they picked cotton and while they picked tobacco. Our foremothers dreamed dreams while they raised children that they did not physically give birth to. And today, you and I are the results and the fulfillment of their dreams and of their visions. We live in neighborhoods where at one time it was not possible for us to even walk through. Eat in restaurants where at one point in time we could not even walk through the front door. We work in places where at one point in time the only thing we could do is to clean up after others. And now we are presidents, CEOs, and head of personnel. However, what we need to realize is the fact that we need to keep on dreaming because we have not arrived at our final destination. There are powers and principalities that are trying to force us back to where we used to be, trying to push us back to where we have come from. However, I stop by to remind us that we must have a vision. We must keep on dreaming anyhow. We as African Americans cannot change our past. But what we can do is we can transform our present. And consequently, we can change our future. But we must keep on dreaming. And we must have a vision. Time where life is robbing our youth of a vision. We need to cast a vision for our sons and for our daughters. We need to remind them of who they are and whose they are. Even though there are those that are trying to treat them like they are nothing and like they are nobody. I wonder, have I got a witness in the house this morning? We were enslaved for over 400 years, but today at least 50% of all prison inmates are African American males. Therefore, we need to keep on dreaming. We have all kinds of degrees, and yet African American males make up 6% of the population, but they comprise 35% of all special ed classrooms. We need to keep on dreaming. For many of us in corporate America, there exists not a glass ceiling, but a brick wall. We need to keep on dreaming. We need to dream of urban renewal. We need to dream of the rebirth of the nuclear and extended family. And we need to dream of a time when we can walk our streets without fear of being cut up, beat up, stabbed up, and shot up. We need to dream of a time in our lives when our children will no longer sell poison to other children. We need to dream of a time when there will be no longer any racial profiling. We need to dream of a time when this society will no longer be tolerant of us, of them, of those who have been empowered to serve us, pulling us aside, pulling us out of our vehicles, beating and or shooting us. We need to dream of a time when, in the words of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., our sons and our daughters will no longer be judged by the color of their skin, but for the content of their character. We need to dream of a time when we can all work together, when we can all walk together, when we can all talk together, when we can all work together, when we can all play together, when we can all pray together, when we can all rejoice together, when we can all dream together, and if need be, we can all die together. I stopped by to remind somebody that if you want to prosper when times are tough, have a vision and have a dream. I wonder, have I got a witness? Stop wasting your vision and stop wasting your dreams on winning Powerball or winning lottery. Cast a dream and cast a vision that's worth our young people and that will challenge our sons and our daughters to be all that God has created them to be. One of the profound lessons that we can learn from the book of Revelation is the fact that God specializes in making our dreams a reality. And therefore, we need to keep on dreaming, keep on hoping, and keep hope alive. Have I got a witness? We need to keep on casting a vision, especially when times are tough. But there's something else that we can discover from our lesson. We not only discover from our lesson the fact that if we want to experience prosperity when times are tough, we must not only have a vision of our future, but we can also discover from our lesson the fact that if we want to experience prosperity when times are tough, we must listen to the voice of the Lord. In verses 3 and 5 of our lesson, John the seer reveals for us another aspect of our ability to experience newness in our lives. Verses 3 through 5 of our lesson begins with the declaration, "And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying," in other words, John hears the voice of the Lord. One of the best ways for us to hear the voice of the Lord is by having a powerful prayer life. Now, for most of us, we have a casual prayer life, or we have a lukewarm prayer life. But the truth of the matter is, if you want to hear from God, if you want to hear the voice of the Lord, let me tell you how you can hear the voice of the Lord. Fall on your knees. Have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about your struggles. And he will hear your famous cry and answer by and by. I wonder, have I got a witness in the house this morning? Is there anybody who can declare that he still walks with me and he still talks with me? Is there anybody here this morning who's not ashamed to say that he's a burden bearer and a sorrow shaker? Is there anybody here this morning who's not ashamed to say that every day with Jesus gets sweeter and sweeter? One of the best ways for us to hear the voice of God is by having a powerful prayer life. The truth of the matter is, so many of us have a one-dimensional prayer life where we do all the talking and little or no listening. However, in our lesson for this morning, John's experience emphasizes our need to hear and our need to listen. There are two aspects of John's hearing the voice of the Lord that are instructional for us in terms of us experiencing newness in our lives. First, in a very real sense, John's hearing of the Lord's voice takes us back to one of the fundamentals and basics of our faith. Many of us forget the fact that we are first and foremost a praying people. We are to be a people who know and who are called to be people who are intimately familiar with the purpose and the power of prayer. And yet, in far too many instances, both personally and as a congregation, prayer is one of the least and one of the last and one of the most underutilized resources of a child of God. It is my prayer that the First Baptist Church of Stratford develops, sustains, and nurtures a reputation for not being an ordinary place of prayer, but for being a powerful house of prayer. I want people to come here and know that we shake the walls for Jesus. I want everybody who come here to feel that we shake the town of Stratford for Jesus. I want everybody who comes here to know that this church, when we fall on our knees, shakes this state for Jesus, shakes this world, this country for Jesus, and shakes this world for Jesus. I want folk when they come in here to bow their heads and begin talking and listening to God. I wonder, have I got a witness in the house this morning? My desire is to see prayer become so much a part of our fellowship until in our prayer meetings and in our prayer shut-ins, there will be standing room only. When the altar call is extended, some of us ought to be the first ones in the prayer line because there is power, awesome power. There's unusual power, there's wonderful power, there is supernatural power in the prayers of the righteous. I wonder, have I got a witness? We need to listen for the voice of the Lord in our homes. We need to listen for the voice of the Lord on our jobs. We need to listen for God's voice in our business ventures, in our relationships, in our planning, and in our deliberation. In other words, all of us should be longing to hear a word from the Lord. But there's something else that John teaches us about prayer. Secondly, John's revelation teaches us something about the power that prayer has in our lives. When John hears from the Lord, God gives him a message that is specific for his needs and for the needs of his people. God reveals to John that there is going to come a time when the presence of God will be manifested in their lives. Listen to what our lesson says. It says God will be with them. That means that prayer will invoke the presence of God. I don't know about anybody else, but I've discovered that there is power in knowing that God is with me. I know that when God is with me, can nobody stand against me. I know that when God is with me, that the odds are changed in my favor. I know that when God is with me, there's no weapon that's formed against me that shall prosper. I know that when God is with me, I know that the battle is not mine, but that the battle belongs to the Lord. I want to have my battle witness in my house this morning. There's something about knowing that the presence of the Lord is with us. And listen to what God continues to say. God is going to wipe every tear from their eyes. And there is going to be no more death, no more mourning, no more crying, no more pain. For the whole Lord of things has passed away. The point that our lesson is making is that when we hear a word from the Lord, it unleashes the power of God in our lives. You know, when the power of God is released in your life, every now and again the dead stop dying. When the power of God is released in our lives, every now and again God wipes the tears from our eyes. When the power of God is released in our lives, there's no more mourning, no more crying. When the power of God is released in our lives, the pain will leave our bodies. I wonder how I got a witness. There is power in the presence of God. And so I want you to pray until God is with you. Pray until you feel God walking right beside you. Pray until you feel God wiping tears from your eyes. Pray until you feel God open the doors that have been shut in your It is through our communion and fellowship with God that God lifts us from the dungeons of despair, from the depths of depression, from the miseries of grief, from the sting of rejection, from the weight of burdens, from the fear of abandonment, and from the loneliness of isolation. Prayer lifts us from where we are to new heights in Christ Jesus. Prayer lifts us to the heights of the Holy Spirit, who reminds us that our God is a strong deliverer and that our God is able to give us the desires of our heart. And that's why I'm telling you that you ought to keep on praying until you hear God's voice. But there's one more thing that I need to remind you of that will help you to prosper and will help us to prosper when times are tough. When times are tough, we need to not only remind ourselves that in order for us to experience prosperity, we must not only have a vision of our future, and we must not only make sure that we listen to the voice of the Lord, but we can also discover from our lesson that if we want to experience prosperity in our lives when times are tough, we must be determined to be triumphant. In verses 6 and 7 of our lesson, John reveals to us the fact that God's desire is to make us triumphant. I stopped by to remind somebody that there are no losers in God's economy. Everybody's a winner and everybody is somebody when God is on your side. I wonder, have I got a witness? Y'all not feeling me. Y'all not hearing me up in here. I need to remind somebody that God came to make you the head and not the tail, not to make you the last but the first. God came here to make you triumphant. Listen to what it said in verses 6 and 7 of our lesson. The Lord says to John, it is done. I've done my thing. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To him who is thirsty, I will give to drink without cost from the spring of the water of life. He who overcomes will inherit all this, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. For many of us who understand the book of Revelation, we understand that the book is about a cosmic battle that takes place between good and evil. It is a battle that ultimately the Lord will win. The Lord has to win. However, the people of God must be determined to overcome evil in our lives. Time after time throughout the book of Revelation, we are encouraged to stand firm and to hold on because our help is on the way. We are encouraged to overcome because the Lord will fight our battles for us. I wonder, have I got a witness? We need the Lord to fight our battles for us, because the battles that we fight are not a battle against flesh and blood. Rather, it is a battle against powers, principalities, wickedness and evil and high places. The weapons of our warfare are not horses, chariots, guns, and bullets. However, the weapons of our warfare are powerful. They will attack down strongholds. The truth of the matter is that far too many of us are not experienced, are not able to experience renewal, restoration, revival, and new beginnings in our lives because we do not appreciate the fact that there are some battles that God must fight on our behalf if we are to be triumphant. There are some habits that cannot be broken unless God breaks them for us. There are some attitudes that cannot be changed unless God changes them for us. There are some bills that cannot
That is why we can celebrate, even though it appears as if nothing changes in our lives. You see, I can celebrate because God is fighting the battle for me. And because God fights my battle, I recognize that I'm more than a conqueror. That I'm going to witness how many are determined right now to declare, I don't care who's in the White House, I'm still more than a conqueror. I don't care how many Republicans control the Senate. My God controls the world. Have I got a witness? I don't care who sits high and who sits low. I have a God who never slumbers and never sleeps. And this God said that I'm more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ. Listen, I gotta go to my seat, but all I step by to remind somebody that the victory is yours. The victory is yours because the Lord God strong in battle. The Lord God triumphant. The Lord God is more, and He's able to give us victory in Jesus' name. Have I got a witness? And let me remind somebody that the reason why you can't have the victory is because you're waiting for the manifestation to happen first. You ought to praise God anyhow. You ought to bless the Lord anyhow. You ought to give God thanks anyhow. Are there anyhow Christians in the house? I will bless the Lord anyhow because I know in whom I believe, and I'm persuaded that my God is able. Have I got a witness? Is there anybody you're not ashamed to give God some praise? Give God the glory even while you're going up the rough side of the mountain. I will bless the Lord even though there are tears in my eyes. I will bless the Lord even though it is hard in my life. I will give Him thanks and I will give Him praise even though the enemy has come in like a flood. That's because I got a word. I got a word from the Lord. He is the great I am. I am the first and I am the last. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the beginning and the end and everything else in between. Give God some praise. Give God some glory. Shout the victory. Give God the victory in Jesus' name. God, this faith that I have helps me to celebrate even though I'm up against it, even though it doesn't look like it. I'm going to give God thanks and I'm going to give Him praise anyhow. This God gives food to those who are hungry. He gives water to those who are thirsty. He wipes tears from their eyes. When we are weak, He picks us up. He says, I feed on a solid rock. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Have I got a witness? Say yeah! Say yeah! Say yeah! Say yeah! Yeah! The victory is yours. We're going to prosper. We're going to make it. Everything's going to be all right. Because God has made us triumph even over our enemies. Come on and give God some praise. Give God praise for the breakthrough. Anybody want a breakthrough? Give God some praise. You want God to pull down a stronghold in your life? Give God some praise. You want God to make a way for you out of no way? Give God some praise. You want Him to heal your body? Give God some praise. You want Him to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing? Give God some praise. him all things are possible. Come on and give God some praise. During the tough times, I got a feeling everything is going to be all right. Come on and give God some praise. John the seer reveals to us things that are hidden about him. And when you look at what is transpiring and the way it is transpiring in our world, it looks like God is on an extended vacation. But nothing could be further from the truth. God is getting ready to break in like he's never broken in before. The conclusion of what happens to the church and the Roman Empire is when God moves the mighty Roman Empire, who boasted that she would last forever. When she fell, great was her fall, and never to rise again. Look out when you mess with God and when you mess with God's people. God may just knock you down and you may never get up again. No wonder somebody got a feeling that everything's gonna be all right. Come on and give God some praise. Maybe someone who's here today